Hello, today we're gonna have a demonstration on how to domain join your Azure storage account so that you are able to mount the file share using your domain credentials. Also enforce permissions when some of the other users also mount the file share with their domain credentials. Notice how in this demo we assume that you already have your domain controller, that you have synchronized your on-prem users to Azure AD using AD Connect, that you have domain join your machines, and that you went to the Azure portal and created a storage account with its file share. First thing to do is we're going to go to bing.com and we're going to search for the article as enable on-premise files authentication, and we can see the right article here, which contains all the necessary steps. And the first step is to domain join your storage account using PowerShell. We go to the public article, we scroll all the way down. First step, and step number 1.1 is to download the necessary PowerShell modules. You make sure you find the latest version, save it to your computer. Once you find it, we're going to move it to a more friendly location. So I'm going to just put it on the C path and on a new folder. Okay, so we create our new folder. Once we have our new folder, we're going to copy paste the downloaded items here. All right, and then we'll go back to the public article and get this long PowerShell script and copy paste it, which is on step 1.2. Copy paste it on PowerShell ISE. It's a little easier to work with. All right. The first step to do is we will change directories where we're working inside PowerShell to make sure we can execute that copy to path script. Okay, everything looks good. So we will start editing our PowerShell script. I already connected to PowerShell before this screen session, so I am going to cancel that. So the easiest way to copy paste our necessary information is if we go to Azure portal and to the main storage account overview screen. Here we will see the subscription ID, the resource group name, and the storage account name. Storage account name. All right, so here we will remove the comment on this row, and we will also select computer account. This row will create Active Directory object representing the storage account in your on-prem AD. I would also type in here a OU, which already exists. I manually created it. Okay. And for now, this last script is very useful if we're having issues running the script, but for now I'm gonna comment it out and run the full script. Accept to everything. It's gonna take a couple of seconds and we will see that it finished running, and make sure that the output says that it succeeded. Okay, everything looks good. So now a storage account has been domain joined. There's a PowerShell to verify on the main article. We can also go back to the Azure portal, storage account, configuration under settings. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see that Active Directory has been enabled for authentication, and it will specify the name of the domain that has been joined. Also, if we go back to your on-prem AD and you refresh, you will see the object that was created. All right, so now the first step has been completed. The storage account has been domain joined to your on-prem AD. The next step is to assign Azure File Share permissions, and this can be done in the Azure portal. And in the public article, you will see that we have um, an option of 3 different permissions that need to be assigned to the users that will be mounting the share with their AD credentials. And to do that, you go to the storage account in the Azure portal, access control on the left blade. You will go to role assignments and assign a new role. Here on the role, you will search for SMB and look for the desired permission. We will do elevated contributor for the administrator. Make sure we find a user that has been synchronized from your on-prem AD to Azure AD using AD Connect. We wait. So now that the permissions on the cloud have been configured for the user, we need to go to step 3 on our public documentation. Step 3 will tell us to first mount the Azure File Share on our Windows machine using the storage account key. This is going to allow us for the first time to mount um, the Azure File Share so we can start applying the NTFS permissions. So in step 3, it will give us an example of a command that we can run in CMD that I'm going to modify here. So I'm going to copy paste it on a notepad, and I just modified the desired drive letter to T as in test. I'm going to copy paste the storage account name, and I'm going to put in the chair name in the notepad. And then we will get the chair name here, Azure chair in my example. Obviously, we just also copy paste the storage account name under user slash storage account name. And we just go back here to the portal on the under the storage account. We go to access key and we get one of the keys, key 1 or key 2, copy it and put it on our command in notepad. Okay, so we got this commandlet ready. We're gonna copy paste it from our notepad to CMD. Enter. Okay, completed successfully. We can see that it created the drive in the back here on Windows. We're gonna create a test folder and also a little test file. Okay, so now that we have our mounted Azure File Share in our Windows machine, just to make sure everything is working properly, we're gonna go to Azure Portal, our file share, and we will verify that we can see our test folder and test file. Let's refresh, and here they are. So it's working correctly. So the next step will be actually now to apply permissions. NTFS permissions to our files. We go back to Windows. We're going to go to Test File Properties, Security tab, and we're going to add the user that we want to give permissions to. Can take a minute. Type in a username. You check the name. It's okay. We look for the permissions in the bottom. Looks good. Click OK. You can also do this with command prompt. Go back to our notepad. Put in the drive letter T for test. We type in our user at yourdomain.com and you give it the desired permissions, F for full permissions. Enter, and there you go. Okay, so the next step is now to actually mount the Azure File Share using your domain credentials. So you will be able to mount the share with your username, user at your domain.com. All right, so who am I? I log into this VM. This is a user that we gave permissions in the last step. And now we will mount to the storage account Azure File Share using this user. Notice how we do not include a storage account key. We run the commandlet and cmd and it mounts successfully. We can notice this in Windows File Explorer. Here we have our files. And I'm just going to disconnect it and I'll show you how you can also do the same step on Windows File Explorer. So we go here, we go to Network, and you do Map, select one of the available letters. Here you're gonna put in the storage account URL with your share name. Finish, and there it is. It mounted the Azure File Share. We're gonna create a new little test file, and the purpose of this one is we will see how now we can go to properties and how we can give permissions to one of our peers. So this is who will have access now. We're gonna add and find one of our coworkers here. Okay, local user, double check it. Okay, now you select the desired permissions that he will have to this file. Notice that at some point we will have to give him at least read permissions to either the Azure File Share or some parent folder so he's able to mount the Azure File Share from there. Okay, so now we log in with our local user. Now this is not the local admin. Just so you know, I came to the storage account. I gave it reader, SMB reader permissions, which means this user will be able to access a file share which he has permissions to, but he will not be able to give NTFS permissions. When he goes to properties, it will fail. When he go to property security and try to find a coworker, it will fail. So we were able to mount the file and there it is. So once he tries to add or change or delete one of the files or folders, it should fail since on the cloud we gave him reader permissions, and on our Windows we also gave him only reading permissions to the share. See, you don't have permissions. Okay, so we will try to do something else. Let's see, can we delete? Not enough permissions. This concludes this demo. Hope it was helpful to you. Thank you for your time.